What's going on, Fin fans? It is your boy Dillon, and I am here to do my Path to the Playoffs video. This is obviously going to be the last one of the season because after this week, after this week, there's obviously no more regular season and we're about to hit the playoffs. So there's no more path to the playoffs because we'll already be there. So this one will be pretty quick. There's not really a lot to talk about at this point. So let's go ahead and just jump right into it. Move myself on over. Okay, so obviously this past week we didn't exactly have, some games went kind of our way or I guess favorable, as far as like what we were rooting for this past week. Like Jacksonville and Pittsburgh winning, was good. Indy winning, I guess, was good. The Texans and Broncos, I guess. I mean, those are, these teams, Jacksonville and Pittsburgh, are important going forward. But these other teams like, the Texans and Broncos and Colts, those were really only going to be important had Buffalo lost to New England. And then it would have, made their chances of getting in as a wild card, that much more difficult. Now, that's not the case, obviously, because Buffalo did win. And that was also one of the things that did not go in our favor. We also would have preferred the Jets to have beaten the Browns. And obviously, we would have preferred to have beaten the Ravens. But neither of those things happened. So, overall, basically what I'm going to say here in this video, and like I said, I mean, this one's going to be really short, 5 or 6, maybe 7 minutes, I guess, because there's really not much to talk about. Basically what it comes down to is week 18, last game of the season. The division is on the line. It's against Buffalo. We're down in Miami. And, we're obviously playing for the division. Now, depending on a couple of the other games, so let's go ahead and get to next week. Depending on a couple of the other games, Buffalo could still end up missing the playoffs altogether, which would be fucking amazing, right? So let's go ahead. These ones don't matter, but let's just go ahead and pop some shit up here just because... Whatever. Okay, so let's see. The rest of them then that really don't matter. Let's say Raiders at home. Chiefs should beat the Chargers. Let's see. Colts, I think, over the Texans. This one's kind of tough. I'm leaving this one alone for just a minute. This one's kind of tough. Let's take the home team, I guess. Let's see. This one... Okay, so, whatever. I mean, they both suck. All right, so the reason why I left these last 3 games alone is because, so the number 1 seed is completely off the table for the Miami Dolphins because we lost last week. So the best we can do is the division and the number 1 seed. Now, I left these other 3 games blank for a moment for a reason. So as it stands, Baltimore's the number 1 seed, 13-3 with these other games. The Browns would be 11-6 if they lost to the Bengals this week. Buffalo currently at 10-6. We'll get to that in a second. KC, 11-6. They can't be the number 1 seed. And I think the best they can be actually is... Hang on, let's just see. Yeah, I was going to say the best they can be is the number 3 seed, KC, Kansas City. And then Colts... would be the 4th with currently the Jags at 7th. But here's why I didn't do these quite yet. So first and foremost, obviously, if the Bills win, Dolphins drop to the 6th seed, they win the division, they would be the number 2 seed. Horrible. We do not want that. So the first order of business is for the Miami Dolphins to win this Sunday at home against their division rival and secure the motherfucking division. First division title since what, 2008? And I mean, we're already going to the playoffs, but secure that division title and potentially knock the Bills out. Now, as you can see, just with that one game, the Bills still remain the 6th seed. But why are these other 2 games important? First of all, let's start with Jacksonville and Tennessee. I do think Jacksonville will get that win. As you can see, that put Jacksonville at 10-7. They jumped Indianapolis for the 4th seed, made Indianapolis the 6th seed, and that made Buffalo the 7th seed. Now, I do think Jacksonville will beat Tennessee. Here's the tricky one. But let's say the Steelers were to get that win. Steelers would be the 7th seed, and Buffalo would fall out of the playoffs altogether as the number 8 seed. Now, here's the thing. You're probably telling me, well, look what the Ravens have done all season, and look at what they just did to the Dolphins and the 49ers the week before. Do you really think that they're going to, that the Steelers are going to be able to win? Well, this is what I got to say about that. There's a few things. First of all, and obviously also it is in Baltimore, so there is that. But here's the thing. As we already know, the Baltimore Ravens have secured the number 1 seed. They also have a ton of injuries. It's not unrealistic to think that the Baltimore Ravens, since they have absolutely nothing to play for, could rest their starters for the entire game, or maybe, they play them for a quarter or something like that, like it's a preseason game. So it's absolutely possible. Plus, it's the Mike Tomlin-led Steelers. They've never had a losing season. They're still not going to have a losing season this year because they already have 9 wins. Right? And that would get them to 10 wins. Right? So there's that. They're also a division rival. They also seem to have the Baltimore Ravens number. They do have a great defense. The Steelers are obviously going to be playing for their playoff hopes because, look, if they lose to Baltimore, then they're out of the playoffs and Buffalo's in. So this game will be absolutely huge. The Ravens have absolutely nothing to play for. The Steelers have absolutely everything to play for. Now, do these things matter, right? Division rival, the Steelers having everything to play for and Baltimore not. The biggest thing that could impact the game is if the Ravens do sit their starters or a lot of their starters. That could be the biggest tangible factor in this game for the Steelers to win. But like I said, Jacksonville, I think they are they're probably going to be the favorites. I would think they'll probably get the win over Tennessee. You never know, but I would take that as a bet. I think it's actually reasonable that the Steelers beat the Ravens. And so all the Dolphins have to do this upcoming week is beat the Bills at home. It's not going to be easy. We'll get to the preview video in a little bit, right? In a couple days. It's not going to be easy, but they can absolutely do it 100%. I do think they will get a couple guys back. Jerome Baker could potentially come back. I think Robert Hunt might be finally back in this game. So we might also get a couple guys back. But as you can see, there's 2 things that are going on this week. And, this is basically my rooting guide, although I'll probably make another rooting guide just to have some content. Since there probably won't be a lot to talk about this week. But it's basically this simple. Dolphins need to take care of their own business, beat Buffalo, so that way we can lock up the number 2 seed, secure the number 2 seed, clinch the number 2 seed. That will give us at least two games in the playoffs. At home, that is, at home. Obviously no first round bye, but it is what it is. And then we need to hope that the Steelers and the Jags come out with W's, and that will knock the Bills out of the playoffs. All right, so there you have it. Real quick, though, just for funsies, let's go ahead and take a look at the wild card round. So if it played out as I had put it, that means the Dolphins would be playing the Steelers in round 1 with them coming to us. I like that matchup. That should be a win for us. I think take KC, and then this one's kind of a toss-up. Let's say the Browns, though. Let's say the Browns get that upset. And then real quick, I would think Eagles, Lions, and Cowboys. Okay. Then let's see. Next. For the divisional round, Kansas City would have to come to us. Honestly, this could be a pretty favorable way for the playoffs to go. If we're keeping it completely 100, this actually could be really favorable. So if the Dolphins win, when the Dolphins win and beat Buffalo, and then the Steelers and Jags get their win, this actually could set up favorably, because I would absolutely love, out of all these teams, I'd be perfectly fine with KC coming to us on the road in the divisional round. Now, here's why I say, let's take Lions, let's take San Francisco. Here's why I say this could be favorable. Because if there's a team that could potentially knock the Ravens off, maybe it's the Browns. Maybe. Now, Lamar Jackson obviously would be expected to be playing all their starters and all that good stuff, so probably not. But let's say that happens. Boom. Then, sorry, I got to scroll up. Give me a second. Next. That means for the AFC Championship game, it would be Browns and Dolphins, and that's how we would have home field throughout the entire playoffs, even without getting the number 1 seed. And then let's say San Francisco over Detroit, and then boom, I'd love to see it. Honestly, this was my top pick for the Super Bowl. So I would love to see Dolphins Niners. But anyway, there you have it. That's all there really is. As you can see, though, you know, there's still a lot up for grabs in Week 18. You know, we still got a little bit of rooting guide to look for. You know, we're still going to be rooting for a couple other teams to try and maybe help us knock the Bills out of the playoffs. Right? And then, yeah, if that does occur, as I just showed you, we could actually have a pretty favorable playoff situation. Because if we were the number 2 seed, and under those circumstances, that means Pittsburgh would have to come to us in round 1 in the wild card. I like that matchup. I'd take that all fucking day. That should be a win. Then in the divisional round, KC would have to come to us. Again, I'm okay with that. Like, I'm cool with that. I'd be fine with that. And then if somehow the Browns could knock off the Ravens, it's possible. Divisional rival. They have an amazing defense. It's possible. It's possible. We could then be facing the Browns in the AFC Championship game in Miami. So lots of stuff to really keep our hopes up for, keep our heads up for, you know, as far as this season. I know that loss against Baltimore really sucked, but it's okay. Still everything is on the table that we could, you know, possibly hope and want for this season, but it obviously starts this week. Let's just go out and get this dub, and let's lock up the number 2 seed, and then just see what happens from there. Hopefully Jacksonville and Pittsburgh will then win, knock the Bills out of the playoffs, and then hopefully the playoffs will play out exactly how I just showed you. But if not, then it is what it is. Anyway, did go a little bit longer. Obviously, I have a propensity for talking, so there it is. Still a short video, though. I am going to get out of here. Hope you guys appreciate my videos and perspective and my thoughts. If you do, make sure you hit the subscribe button, the like button, hit the, or leave comments down in the comment section, share my channel and videos with your friends and family, all that good stuff. Trying to grow the channel. Still looking for work. Still looking for work in the sports media industry. I'm still looking for work in my small little town, of course, because I'm trying to find a job, but obviously this is what I want to do with my life. So if anybody knows, I'm just going to keep putting that out there. I am trying to get into this as my full-time job. So if anybody knows, anyone out there that could give me an opportunity in the sports media world, that would be amazing too. So with that, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Appreciate you. Love you. Take it easy. Fins up all day, every day.
7 seconds left. Tannehill will throw it. And this will end it after the shuttle. Miami runs around. Circling. Almost down. Gronkowski did not mean it. Touchdown. Oh, miracle. Miraculous in Miami. Stills to Parker to Drake. And they held off the field. Unimaginable what has taken place here in South Florida. The Dolphins have done it. They keep their season alive. 69 yards. Wow. Miami wins it.